Now, say my name.
The Rolling Bad Podcast.
You're goddamn right.
Welcome to the Rolling Bad Podcast, episode number 73, coming to you from the refreshingly rain-soaked Rio Rancho, New Mexico. We're recording on Sunday, August 11th. I'm your host.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
my bad. Jeez.
This is what... Come on. You know better than this, Bill.
73 episodes, and you can't do this from... Okay,
Nope.
Sorry.
I'm your host, Elric Edge, and with me today is...
I'm Bill Costello. How are you?
Doing great, Bill. How are you?
Awesome. I've got energy. I'm ready to bring it.
Do you?
Yeah.
I still love how after 73 episodes, the way we bring in the show is I'm your host, and with me as a guest, because that's what it makes it sound like, is the guy who does literally all the work of the show. So,
I don't think it sounds like I'm a guest. I think it sounds like, and with me is, the dude that's trailing on my road to glory.
oh, okay.
So who's hitched his falling star to my rising star. That's the way I see it. So
You're the falling star to my rising star?
yeah, oh yeah.
I'm the rising star?
Oh, you're going places.
Oh, good God.
I can just tell you're going places.
Do not buy stock in this.
Okay.
What are we going to talk about, Bill?
Hey, you know what? First things first, I want to knock a couple of things out of the way. And the first thing I want to knock out is probably the most somber thing of the day. If you haven't heard by now, you should have heard. But Jeff Robinson passed away, 3 Saturdays ago, very suddenly. I mean, within a matter of minutes, and quite truly in the prime of his life. If you don't know who Jeff Robinson was, he's the guy that did a lot of the live streaming of the 40K stuff for Warhammer TV. Just a great guy. I mean, I only had a few chances to just chat with him a little bit at different shows, but he was super engaging. And I mean, if you listen to Signals from the Front Line and Reese, they'll tell you about what a great guy he was and how he was so influential in the miniatures hobby overall, bringing it to people's awareness and setting us on a different track, I think.
Yeah.
So it's a sad loss for the community because he was one of us, but he was also very famous in another circle, the esports circle.
Yeah.
And he was like, an icon there. So very sad to hear of his passing, and our condolences to his family and friends. And also I want to remind people that we have a Patreon page. It's www.patreon.com/rollingbadpodcast.
Yep.
And if you want to help out the show, hey, even $1 a month helps. So that's the begging for money portion of our show.
Get it out of the way at the top.
Yeah, we got to knock that stuff out. But now to the good stuff. We've got 2 different shout-outs to make.
Do we?
Yeah. Our friend, do you want to do this one?
Oh, God.
Our friend, buddy, pal, and constant companion and spirit animal, Randingo Hill.
Randingo.
He is running an event called the Mile High Massacre Grand Tournament. Give us the deets, Elric.
Do you want me to read this whole thing?
No, I just want you to read that front.
I wasn't going to read it.
Yeah, I didn't figure you would.
All right. Let's get this crap over with. So Randall, in all his glory, is going to be running the Mile High Massacre Grand Tournament on September 7th and 8th of this year, 2019, at the Adams County Fairgrounds, the Dome. Since when is it called the Dome? I've never heard it called the Dome.
Nah, I'm not a local, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. All right. At 9755 Henderson Road, Brighton, Colorado, 80601.
Where's Brighton, Colorado? Is that anywhere near anywhere?
It's like one of the suburbs of Denver, I think.
Oh, okay.
It's one of the many blurbs of population in between Colorado Springs and Denver.
Oh,
streams
gotcha.
together in like a wannabe Southern California. Anyways.
It's very hipster.
Yeah. Yeah. just a cloud of weed smoke anyways. I mean, no, it's great. It's beautiful up there. I've been to these events that Randall puts on. They're palatable. Randall, you should have known better than that.
I should have known better than to have you do this.
Right? Oh, this is so good. No, but seriously, I am a massive fan of the events up in Denver that these guys put on. They do a pretty solid job.
Oh, yeah.
And it's only 6 hours away.
Yeah, I mean, it's close for us.
Yeah, but of course, Randall had to do me dirty and do it on a weekend that I can't go. So I won't be there. So I don't know if any of the rest of you even want to bother without the star of the show. But it's a 2,000 point.
Oh, I love it.
Using most of the rules, I guess.
For what, Age of Sigmar? Or
yeah,
WarCry?
I think he's going to put some. He loves Space Marines.
Yeah.
So he'll likely have Space Marines on the table.
And Stormcast.
Yeah.
They'll
In squads together.
Oh, my God.
Oh, it's so good once it hits the lips.
Mm-hmm. He does have a cutoff date of August 24th, so any War Scrolls after the 24th aren't going to be there.
Unless they're Stormcast.
Yeah,
Then
Stormcast will be allowed.
He'll let them in up to the morning of, including, like if they drop a War Scroll during the middle of round 2,
yeah,
it's legal.
It'll be legal.
But only Stormcast.
If you just have like a hint from Pete Foley that something works different now, yeah, it's good for Stormcast.
And really, you could just flash any War Scroll by him because he can't really read. So you just tell him it's legal. It's good.
We're doing our best to hype this event.
Is that what we're supposed to hype this event?
Yeah.
Oh, crap. All right. Never mind. So, Mile High Massacre in Adams County Fairgrounds, the Dome, September 7th and 8th, 2019 in Denver, Colorado. Well, all intents and purposes, Denver, Colorado. Being run by the wonderful and delightful smelling Randall Hill. 2,000 points, Age of Sigmar Grand Tournament. Bring your A game, gentlemen and ladies.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I just can't. Maybe it's the sugar. I don't know, but that was funny.
All right, let's move on to something that people care about.
Okay, so something that people care about. Another one of our friends and some really great people are putting... Remember how I said editing is so much easier now? Oh,
This all better stay in, Bill.
it is. It is.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Getting back to
Game face.
serious game face. Okay. So the guys over at Sound the War Plums, so our friends that were streaming Flying Monkey and all that stuff, they are doing, over the month of August, Sound the War Plums is going to be releasing videos as part of a Getting Started series for Age of Sigmar. There's going to be 13 videos, one being released every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It's going to cover everything from getting started in Age of Sigmar to information and rules about each phase of the game, and even cover some of the advanced strategies and topics that come up in the game. So if you're interested in watching, you can find them out on Twitch or YouTube. They have some pretty interesting... It's Sound the War Plums. So if you go to twitchtv.com or twitch.tv/Sound the War Plums. You'll find their channel there. Search for them on YouTube. I will put the links up there.
Excellent.
But those are great guys, and I have a strange feeling that this is going to be a great series. I haven't watched any of them yet, but I've been a little maxed out. But I am desperately wanting to catch up and...
Yeah, they've been cranking out battle reports like crazy. So.
Crazy. So, yeah, they're really turning that channel into something very, very cool.
Yeah, and these are the guys up in Denver that actually do stuff.
Yeah, these are the real players.
Yeah, the real tournament organizers and stuff, unlike previously mentioned posers. Yeah.
I knew we'd find a way to make Randall feel bad about that. God, yeah. So, yeah, definitely Sound the War Plums. It's all one word. Hit them up on Twitch TV and YouTube and check out their stuff and subscribe and hit the bell button. And while you're at it, go to my channel and subscribe and hit the bell button because I still have like 4 subscribers and one of them's my mom and they can't take that one away because she died. So, wow. I'm just saying, I don't have a lot of subscribers on my channel. But then again, my videos suck. So
Yeah, and you put out one like every 6 months. So
oh,
what do
come
you
on. I was
expect?
putting them out monthly up until a while ago, and then I stopped because, I don't know, I'm weird. So,
Anyways.
yeah. So, that, I believe, do you have anything else for the intro? Do you have anything else you want to hawk? Cookies, brownies,
Oh, God, yeah.
red meat.
So good. Now my burps are a wonderful mix of red meat, brownie, and Diet Coke.
Yeah, we're
Diet,
drinking
yeah, I
Diet
had to
Coke.
really rein it in there. The excessiveness. Couldn't possibly take any more calories on.
No, I didn't think so. So,
Oh, Jesus.
shall we move on?
Let's, please. Good God. I'm just going to smile and nod.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha. So,
I have no idea what you were just talking about.
it's a thing.
Okay.
So, it's a thing. So, New Dawn. All the new stuff that's been out. And we actually have a lot to cover because it's kind of been 3 weeks since we recorded.
Yeah.
Since we recorded back-to-back last time. And then we had some issues. So,
Well, I'm so sorry I went out of town.
yeah, you know.
Tried to enjoy this thing called life.
Oh, YOLO, you know, it's all about me.
Yeah.
Screw the listeners because what the hell.
Right? Yeah.
So, you actually went on a 3-day bender with a listener.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes, I did.
So, like somebody you met on Tinder or something.
Grinder. I mean,
Thank you, Kirk, for taking Elric out.
oh, yeah. That was freaking epic.
Mm-hmm. Sounded like it was a blast.
Yeah.
So, well done, Dead Gamer.
Yeah, definitely.
So, let's talk about stuff that's come out. WarCry.
WarCry.
Yeah.
So we actually played.
We played a game.
Listen, check this out, listeners. Bill and I have played a game of something.
That
of
we
literally
talk about.
anything, yeah, on the tabletop. And that game was WarCry.
Yes.
And,
You hated it.
yeah, I mean, I'm more of a, I don't know, checkers kind of guy. You know? Felt like that had a little more pop than whatever this thing is. Yeah, WarCry is effing amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Like, wow.
It is. Yeah. I did not expect to actually be going out of my way to get games in over this last week like I have been doing.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just crazy. It's so much fun, and one of the things I think that's really key about it is even if you're losing, it's still a fun game because you can still get in there and get your licks in.
Yeah.
And, you know, as far as the narrative campaigns go,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a reason to be killing other guys. Even if you're going to lose the mission, you still want to be in there making hits, doing damage.
We got to do
Yeah,
some
we got to
kind
do
of
a campaign.
for WarCry.
You, me, and Chad.
That's right. Yeah, that's right up our alley there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he sounds pretty.
Oh,
geeked
he's
about
hyped.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, if he wasn't taking tonight off because, oh, my wife has her birthday.
Oh, I just turned 40 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Whoa,
some
big
kind of
deal.
accomplishment. Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Anyways,
Wow, look at that. You lived another day. Woohoo. Okay.
I mean, she did go through another day putting up with him, so
Oh.
I guess that requires some kind of small celebration.
That's a good point. She should
Yeah.
be celebrated. Yeah. Yeah, we should back off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, the main set for WarCry came out. The little package to put your miniatures in came out. The different card sets came out. The rule book came out. The ruler came out. And so far, I think, let me see, 6 factions have come out. Because you have the 2 in the box, which are Iron Golems and
The Untamed Beasts.
Untamed Beasts. And then Corvus Cabal is out. Splintered Fang is out.
Yeah, that one.
So, yeah, the Cypher Lords have come out, the Splintered Fang, the Unmade. A lot of warbands are out, and they're all very cool
Yeah, they are.
in looks and in play. We're going to go nuts over WarCry in the lore section, so let's not get too crazy.
Okay.
For Necromunda, the cops came out. Now they're called Enforcers. We all know them as Adeptus Arbites. So,
Arbites?
yeah, or Arbites.
Yeah.
You know, if you have no knowledge that the world used to speak Latin. But anyway, yeah.
Wow.
So if you're into Necromunda, they just had a bunch of cool updates and outputs for that game, which is very cool.
Yeah.
And then also while we were offline, they did a set of Chaos Sorcerers that you could order. You know, they were the made-to-order things.
The hell did you learn to spell, Bill?
I don't know. What did I spell wrong?
Chaos Sorcerers.
Oh, yeah. It's like source of magic errors. Shut up.
So you're playing a little bit of Divinity?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
So, and then they made this crazy announcement that Space Marines were going to get better.
Wow.
Holy
Wow.
shit. And I will say, holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The new con, the White Scars looks fantastic.
My God.
Upgrade kits for your White Scars,
White
which
Scars,
is
yeah.
awesome. The dice look cool.
Yeah, they do.
Individual codexes finally for White
supplements
Scars
for all
and
the different
Salamanders and all of these.
yeah, they're going to come out. I mean, they've announced, well, today went up for pre-order Ultramarines and White Scars, but they've said that all of the big ones are going to come out.
Now,
So,
here's the thing, is the Space Marine Codex has pretty much always been Ultramarines, the Codex.
Yeah.
And then it has, like, because they're supposed to, allegedly, they're the ones that follow the Codex the most, which in
Right.
reality they don't, because they have all kinds of extra stuff, like the Tyranid Hunters and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so it's very interesting to see them actually get their own separate Ultramarines Codex
Yeah.
in tandem with the Space Marines Codex.
Yep.
I wonder, it really makes me kind of interested to see what the Space Marine Codex is going to be.
Well, when they talked about it on the Twitch TV stream, they talked about how the book itself is no longer, you know, like you said, Ultramarines, the Codex. It's the Space Marine Codex, and everything is in there, and there's no... They're going to have stuff for Black Templars. They're going to have stuff for White Scars. You know, the stuff you need to play those factions are all going to be in there. The supplements are going to add on and give you more flavor and more unique and special stuff to work with those. So, yeah, I think they're trying to get away from that image maybe of the Space Marine Codex is
Vanilla Ultramarines and trying to give Ultramarines more flavor.
Yeah,
I'm down with that because I feel like they've slowly been accomplishing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like in the same way that they're making the individual Chaos Gods more interesting,
Right.
like Khorne especially.
Yeah.
They're making Ultramarines more interesting.
Sure, they sure are. I mean, that whole story arc with Sicarius and, you know, actually learning that he's not all that he thinks he is, and he actually has to act like a real Space Marine sometimes.
Well,
so,
you know. It happens.
And the fact that, you know, Robut Guilliman comes back, that does give the Ultramarines a bit of an upper hand in terms of
that is true,
who's
yeah.
coolest right now.
Right, for now.
For now. But when the Lion comes back,
Dorn, baby. All about that Dorn.
Dorn ain't coming back.
What?
Dorn ain't coming back.
You know what, Bill? How dare you?
Okay, well, you know. I don't know. That order of them coming back is going to be very interesting to see.
Right, Vulcan has to come back. He's a perpetual.
Right, but
he has to. Like, of all the Primarchs that we know are alive, or whatever state they're in, we know Vulcan. Like, that's the story.
And there's so many rumors of him being there with Enriquer the Traveler in the Stasis Vault.
Yeah.
So, or, you know, at least one of them. It could be. I mean, I've heard people put forth the thing that it could be Corvette Corax that's in there, too.
Well, I thought it was Dorn because I thought there was a thing that says that it's
great Baroque armor.
Well, yeah, but golden.
Yeah.
So that led me to believe, well, it's either Dorn because his armors are all gold, or it's the guy they released. I thought they released him recently for $30,000, but the head of
Constantine Valdor.
Yeah, the head of the good
Custodian
Lord.
Guard.
Yes, useless brain.
You need more sugar.
Yeah, right. Either way, I mean, obviously, I'd love it to be Dorn, but I mean, having the original head of God damn it,
the Custodian, Adeptus Custodian.
Adeptus Custodian. Wow.
So, scrambled eggs, frying eggs.
The gerbils are on strike. Wheel is not spinning anymore.
Not going around and around.
Oy, oy, oy. Anyways.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So.
See how hyped we are for 40K?
I know.
This is an issue, Bill.
I know, it's terrible.
You'd scratch that itch. Scratch it good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then
Kilting it out.
put on the 40K flea collar so it doesn't come back for a while.
That's right.
And stick our heads.
Well, just think when the Iron Jaws and the Free Peoples come out, I think.
Oh, we didn't even. Yeah. Oh,
we didn't mention that, but we're not getting there yet.
Okay.
So
all right.
also for 40K, they announced the Psychic Awakening.
Yeah.
More to come because they've really been close to the vest on what that's all about. Maybe it's the orcs figuring out how to do something. Maybe it's the Tau figuring out that they can use the warp.
Maybe it's the Eldar.
Maybe
going ham, saying like, "All right, bitches, like this is how we're gonna do."
Hey, you know what? We love any ad. We're coming for you.
Yeah,
So,
like we are the oldest living race, and you will learn to respect us.
Yeah, right. That'll happen.
I'm saying, like, I don't know. I think it could happen.
No, I think they're too stupid. They're too introspective and stupid.
I don't know, man. I think old Farseer, what's his name? Eldrad is desperate to try to make something happen.
He shows flashes of brilliance, but to me, the Eldar are just like the elves of the old world.
Yeah.
They screw everything up, and then they try to blame everyone else.
And blame everybody else. Yeah.
So, it's... I like the parallel stories there. It's kind of...
Yeah.
All right. So, there's been just a huge Space Marine blowout. But now let's get to AOS. Hey, they announced a couple of books.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Nothing.
Controversial.
Really?
A bit controversial, yeah.
You think orcs are causing that much of a stir?
No.
Oh, it wasn't the orcs.
No, it's it's that order book, man, the Free Peoples book, which
and I love the way they offhandedly say, and some models may have to be leaving the line.
they took old Angron's axe to that bad boy. Good God.
They just about wiped out half the website and said,
good.
Some models will be not half the web. I'm kidding.
There was a good chunk, man. There was like 20-some kits.
The dispossessed are all gone.
Well,
all the wanderers.
The older stuff.
Well, I'm sorry.
You're
right.
The warriors, the Thunder/Coroller kit, the cannons. Basically, it was like pretty much anything that came out 6th edition and prior.
Yeah.
Or maybe even 7th edition
and
some
prior,
of that
right?
stuff. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Because it was older stuff. Kits that have been around for a while.
The one that struck a nerve with me, though, is the Dragon Princes.
Yeah.
That is like my favorite old world kit. I played High Elves in 8th edition. Mm-hmm. I played an all cavalry list using those guys.
Yeah.
And it was a nasty list. And I just loved those models. Loved them. But
to be fair, moving forward, can you imagine what we're going to get?
Yeah.
So to replace that stuff?
Absolutely. And well, I don't know. Are we though? Or is Free Peoples just going to kind of be a book that rounds up some stuff to hold them over for now until they can get caught up on some other things and then put out like just a whole new humans range? Humans and dwarves. I think
you'll see some releases because I don't think they would make all that stuff go away and then just go, oh, and anybody that wants to play this book, well, I'm sorry, you're screwed.
Why not? Gloomspite Gets is like that. The vast majority of that stuff is online only. It's a pain in the ass to start that army.
That's a good point. Okay.
Just saying.
Yeah, it could very well be. I don't know. I would hope not. Because, that, to me, they're always looking at that whole new hobbyist aspect. Mm-hmm. The new guy that just comes into the game, which is an interesting segue to something we'll talk about later. But the new guy that comes into the game and he likes this Free Peoples book and he goes to his store and says, I want to buy this Free People stuff. And the manager looks at him and goes, yeah, well, you can't. But here's this kiosk where you can order it, and in a couple of weeks I'll get it for you.
Yep.
That's not really great.
That's
experience. I know. I know. But let's hope they don't do it again. I'm not saying they're going to release, an entire range of new models, but I think they'll have something on the table when that book comes out.
Here's a question for you.
Okay.
How does this make you feel as a Seraphon player? To see a book come out that envelops all these older models, but cuts like half of that line out, but doesn't replace anything yet. I mean, there's potential that we'll get some new stuff, but as a Seraphon player, knowing that some of those kits are freaking ancient, and the potential of a new book looming around the relative near future.
If they want to cut the line where it is, that's fine. I mean, if they're going to do new stuff, that.
But how would you feel, though, if they dropped a Seraphon book that just axed a bunch of your line and then not gave you anything new?
Well, then I'd be...
But you got a new book and some new endless spells or whatever, and stuff like that, terrain feature.
I mean, it would hurt, but I haven't been playing Seraphon in so long anyway, that what's it really going to matter? I mean, if they make Skinks go away or if they make Kroxagor go away, you're not going to hurt me that much. I mean, I have a ton of Seraphon.
Okay.
So,
all right.
But I hope they axe half that line. I
well,
really hope they
replace a bunch.
Well,
of
sure.
Yeah.
With new stuff, but I mean, you could take away the guard, you could take away the Skinks. I mean, they're not bad, but they're not the level that we see nowadays.
I just want to get all this on recording so that when they finally do it, and this room is half flooded with your tears.
Yeah.
I can say, well, Bill, you said it was okay.
Well, I mean, you have to see it going forward. They're going to have to do something. That's one of the oldest ranges that's still current in the game.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that's fine. And honestly, I don't mind so much that they got to Free Peoples before Seraphon, because there's a lot of folks out there that have a lot of those old models that are sitting around doing nothing. Seraphon is playable right now.
Yeah.
And,
literally playable.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they really are. I mean, they're not.
I know.
They're not like they were at that one point where, there was no point in taking them.
Sure.
None. Like Beastclaw now. But
ogres are just as deadly now as they've always been, Bill. Come on.
Oh, shit. I forgot. Yep. Damn. Oh.
Get you on that keto diet. Anyway.
Yeah. I have my Legos. I can do anything.
Oh.
You got that one now. Yeah.
Oh, cringe. Let's not.
No, I'm not saying anything. To me, I actually thought it was relatively creative and kind of, I mean, I don't think I would have done it, but I have to believe that picture was a couple of guys going, hey, check it out. This is funny as you know what. And,
So, okay, just to segue onto this thing, because
we should explain what we're talking about.
So, pictures of the Ninth Age ETC games came out, right? And somebody was playing with Lego cavalry models as their army. Yeah. Now, I think the adult me thinks that is an absolute embarrassment.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm not going to jump on, whatever. Because the 8-year-old inside of me is like, I wish I could have had all those models.
Exactly.
That would have been so cool. But did you imagine flying halfway across the world with your army that you painted and got ready, and then you put your stuff on the table, and that's what somebody put? No.
Yeah, I would be. I mean, honestly, I don't know how I would actually react, because time and effort went into it. And
yeah, it's a real bitch to put Lego models on the
Lego
base
cavalry
already.
horses. Yeah.
No, there's no work that went into that.
But still, it's kind of a cool answer to, I either can't afford the real models or I can't do it.
Well, shit, that stuff is expensive nowadays.
Well,
have you seen the cost of Legos?
No. Well,
yeah, hell no.
Really?
No, that's not a justification.
Okay. Well,
unless you bought them like in bulk on eBay from whatever. It doesn't I would not accept that. I would say thank you for the win, and I'm going to go enjoy downtown Serbia or wherever, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not playing against this nonsense. Sorry. Anyways.
But still, I mean, I thought it was kind of cool myself.
Yeah. So the Free People's book.
Yeah.
for the people who are like really upset about half that line getting cut out.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be worse. You could have been a Greenskins player.
Yeah.
And have your entire army cut.
Or, yeah, you could be Tomb Kinged or
Bretonnianed.
Yeah. So.
Or squatted.
Oh,
justice for #justice for squats.
Okay.
They were way more popular than you say, bro. Anyways.
20 years ago, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
What are we even doing, Bill?
Who knows? We're bringing energy, though.
Are we?
Yeah.
We're best energy.
We're bringing energy.
So yeah, so the cool thing about the new Free People's book, though, that I'm looking forward to the most is how they are going to explain how these races and stuff exist in the mortal realms.
And how the cities are going to be organized.
Right.
And how you can build your own city to kind of encompass your model range.
Right.
That, to me, is what I think is going to... It's either going to knock it out of the park or it's going to leave a lot of people sad.
Yeah, I think for as much as the free, air quotes, free peoples or whatever is losing, they're gaining so much.
Oh, yeah.
As well. And there's a lot of potential there going forward. Now, enough about that garbage. Let's talk about the Destruction book because we all love Destruction. And if you don't, you're wrong. Is there one? Yes.
Oh, that's right. They announced some, I don't know, it had some orc on the cover, so I figured it was just another fluff filler in the line.
I can't even look at you right now. All right. So there's an Oryx book. And they're taking Iron Jaws and Bone Splitters and putting them in the same army.
Yay!
And I have to say that...
Well, I want to say something before you do.
Oh, okay. Get it all out there.
And that is... that GW is going to be hearing from our lawyers because months ago we talked about this on a podcast that they needed to roll those two together and release them as a single book.
Yes.
So
TM.
Yes, exactly. TM. So they will be hearing from our lawyers.
So, or
you
can just send us an advanced copy of the book
and some of the models
and we'll give it a review. Yeah. Sure. I mean the model. Yes.
Because I don't have a lot.
Sure.
For
mostly the book.
Yeah.
Is this thing on? So, yeah, I really got to thinking about Iron Jaws recently, really since the new General's Handbook dropped.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what could you really do to that army to give them extra flavor? Because they were really just all combat.
Right.
There's no shooting. There's essentially no magic. Even though they got their whole new lore, the shaman just is not the spellcaster he needs to be to exploit that that cool new lore. And I was like, well, do you make a mega boss on a war pig? Some people have talked about that. Do you give brutes crossbows? That's something that's been batted around for a long time, ever since Chris Tomlin did those conversions and stuff like that. Yeah. Or do you come out with like a whole new type of Auric to fill that gap? And the more I thought about it, the more I thought that just doesn't work, right? So if you put a mega boss on a war pig, he's either going to invalidate the foot boss or he's going to invalidate the Maw Crusher.
Yeah.
Because he's going to either move as fast as the Maw Crusher and be cheaper and maybe not hit quite as hard, but he'll still hit hard enough and be cheap enough that you could probably put two of them down for the cost of the cabbage.
One, yeah.
Or what's actually more likely to happen is he will just completely invalidate the foot boss.
Right.
Because the foot boss already struggles to keep up.
And I was going to say that's his niche.
Yeah.
So
and that's not what you want to do, is introduce something that makes something else invalid.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Stormcast book. I think a lot of those characters step on each other's feet. And you don't really want that in the Iron Jaws book. And then, I mean, it would be cool to give some shooting options. Like I love the idea, the concept of brutes with just great big ass anti-aircraft ballistas in their hands. That would be really cool looking. Or maybe war pig riders that have throwing axes. I don't. There's some ideas,
ranged
right?
attack. Yeah,
but I think just folding over the Bone Splitters into the line, making them just one big army, I think that scratches all the itches, right?
I think it gives you so much flexibility, and now you actually can say, that the Iron Jaws are the truly elite fighters.
Yeah.
And they can be the elite portion of your army while you shoot everybody off the table with your cannon rock.
Now, they did say with this book, and this is something that I'm hesitant about, is it is essentially two separate books in one.
Oh, bummer.
Bone Split is an army, and Iron Jaws is an army.
Oh, God.
And there is an option to use them together.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
But what makes me very hesitant about this is Gloomspite.
Yeah,
which is essentially four separate books that don't necessarily work well together.
Yeah.
So hopefully they learn from that.
Yeah.
And this is only two armies that they can, that they have to worry about trying to interweave together.
Yeah.
So I have hope that, this book will be much better than the Gloomspite book is.
Just
Destruction will be the terrifying force that they need to be. I mean, it's cool to see ever since the General's Handbook dropped, you do see Iron Jaws poke their head onto a podium here and there, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. They're routinely getting one of them up into the top 10 at a lot of big events, which is great.
Fantastic.
But for the most part, Destruction as a whole is just grossly underrepresented at events, and they just do not do well in general. So I'm hoping this book really makes them the force to be reckoned with that they should be.
Hope so. Because then all we'd have left is Beast Claw to fix.
Yeah, and if they roll that in with Gutbusters, which they should, and just tie up all the nice loose ends of Destruction like they did with Chaos, and they're doing with Order, and they already did with Death. Then
we'd have a thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Should be good.
I agree. This should be. I'm desperately looking forward to those two books because just the lore for the Free Peoples, like you said, I just want the lore for that book. I probably in the future will do a Free People's Army for my city-state, but that'll just be awesome. That's a project way down the road.
Yep.
But and I would really like to see the Iron Jaws be a thing again, even though I hate them. But
why do you hate them, Bill?
I don't hate. Okay.
You just get discouraged when I pick up so many dice that I literally can't roll them in my hands.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
That's the best. Oh, the look on your face when that happens.
Yeah, but I still beat you.
Do you, though? Orcs always win.
Well,
orcs always win.
Really?
Always.
All right.
That's in the fluff. That's canon.
Oh, well, if it's canon, then it's true.
Yep.
So, okay. So those are the two big books coming out. One other thing I want to mention in New Dawn, and this is a pretty, I don't know if you've seen this yet. Have you seen the AOS Reminders website?
No.
Okay. So I am going to plug this website. It's the AOS Reminder page by Davis E. Ford. And the website is daviseford.com/AOS-reminders. Go to that website, plug in your army, plug in the units that you have in your army, plug in a few other, like the artifacts, the realm, and some other things that you've taken for your thing, and all of a sudden up pops everything you need to remember in each phase of the game. And he spits it out in a nice little list, and you can hit the print button. And when you're done, you have a little thing that you take with you that says, it's your hero phase. Don't forget to do this and this and this and this. Oh, it's the beginning of the movement phase. Do this and this. It's the end of the movement phase. Do this and this.
So it's literally just a page that in big bold letters says, use your effing triumph.
All 6 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, it's a page that says, you're too dumb to play this game on your own. Let me help you.
Oh, trainingwheels.com.
Yes, trainingwheels.com. Now, it's Davis E. Ford, all one word, .com/AOS-reminders. And I went through it with, I plugged in my Night Haunt. I plugged in my, my Nurgle army. And it just spit out. And it did. I have my cheat sheets that I already did, but I did them in Excel. I have all the stuff plugged in, and I just pull out the stuff I need. His site just does it and spits it out so that you can print it out and go to your game and not forget all your rules.
Is it mobile friendly?
I don't want to say no. For tablets, it's probably pretty cool. For a phone, I would not try to use it as a reference on a phone.
Okay.
Because it's, he's formatting it out for print.
Okay.
And that may come. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it is super cool. And he's got a little donate button at the bottom. And I'm definitely going to be, within the week, I'm going to be hitting him up.
Nice.
Giving him money. Because it's truly amazing. And it's super, super helpful. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I want to mention something that just came out that I did not hear anything about anywhere, but it is a thing. Remember the old Space Marine combat cards that we played a long time ago?
Yeah.
That is now a mobile game app.
Really?
Yep.
How crazy is that?
Yep. So there you go. It's on iTunes. I don't know if it's available on Android, but
What's the name of it?
Warhammer combat cards.
Huh. Very interesting.
So I haven't played it. I finally downloaded it. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I guess in New Dawn we could also cover that Inquisitor Martyr prophecy came out on, I think, it came out some time ago.
Okay.
And, oh my God.
Yeah.
So they have a new class now. You can play the Tech Adept. And it's a creature class. So it's a pet class. And, oh my God, is it funny. Because you build your pets kind of like you build psychic powers for your psychers. You get the chassis and then you modify it with different stuff. And then you go out and do your missions. And you have several different pets available to you. And, oh my God, is it a hoot.
Nice.
It is funny. I haven't gotten anywhere. I think I'm still like level 8, just going through one of the interesting things about it is the beginning story for the Tech Adept starts right as the main storyline for the other 3 character classes, the original ones, is ending. So basically, if you kind of look at the way this is going, you're taking over the ship from the Inquisitor who died trying to get the main storyline done, and you get to take over where he left off. And you basically bring everybody and they become your entourage. You just walk on board and I'm an Inquisitor, I'm taking over, your dude's dead, follow me. It's funny as heck.
Nice.
So, but yeah, it's different. It's cool if you like that sort of a game. It's an action role-playing game, which I normally hate those kind of games, and I love this game.
Sweet.
It's fun and it's exciting, and I've been playing it for several hundred hours now and finally figured out how to go into challenge mode. Yeah. And there's a little drop down where you can actually make it harder.
Yeah.
I didn't know that part.
Oh, really?
I mean, I know you could go into challenge mode, but it just made it the same level as you.
Oh,
which
yeah.
in most cases is still pretty easy.
Yeah.
Then you could go like +4. You could really just
wish
for death and go to +10.
You can pretty much make it impossible.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to +10 once and said, wow, Nurgle's pretty good.
Yep.
But anyway, I think that's our New Dawn. So let's take a quick break and we'll get to creation. So now we're going to talk about the stuff that we've hobbied on. Let me see here. I've got a pretty decent list. I've done more work on my existing Bane Blade, and then I may have purchased another one. Or
did you know? Yeah.
I like Bane Blades and I like tanks.
Your fleet o' Bane Blades.
I like your thought of building I'm going to build a guard army in reverse. I'm going to start at the top and work down to the troops.
I'm telling you, that's how it's going to happen. I'm calling it right now.
Yeah, it might happen, but for right now, I'm happy with my Bane Blades.
Okay.
So the biggest thing I have for creation, of course, is I finished my Night of Shrouds, mounted Night of Shrouds for my night haunts.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. But the biggest thing was getting the stuff built and painted for WarCry. So I've got all the terrain from the original set done, and I bought that the Sigmarite Mausoleum set. Oh, my God. And, we were looking at it at the store today. What comes in that box for WarCry is like 90% of what you get. It's right over there.
The Shattered Storm Vault?
Yeah, Shattered Storm Vault.
And
Did I say? Oh, I said the Mausoleum.
Yeah,
No,
I was going to
I'm sorry.
say, Bill, you already got one of those in shrink wrap over here. Good Lord. What is even happening right now?
Yeah, no, the Storm Vault.
Yeah.
Well, what's crazy is what comes in that box is like 90% of what you get in the big box of Storm Vault terrain, the $160 box.
The starter box.
Yeah. What you don't in that starter box in the WarCry, with the map and the tokens and terrain, you get the 2 big flat pieces, you get the 2 walkways, you get the little Storm Vault entrance itself, you get the 2 doggos, and then of course, a whole bunch of the pillars and the little things that the pillars sit on, the plinths.
Yeah.
So just from a straight out money thing, that box is $90, whereas the other one is $160, and the only thing you get is one of the half-round pieces and the statue of Sigmar. So that thing is a phenomenal value if you're looking to increase your terrain for Sigmar. It is just off the top, off the hook, over the top. Other metaphors that are meaningless. So yay, it's good.
Nice.
So yeah, definitely. If you need terrain for tables, that you could do a lot worse than buy that box. So let me see. Before we get into a rather contentious thing, I want to share just a tip for hobbying. And I don't know. This is a personal little thing for me, and it's really stupid, but it has to do with hobby knives.
Okay.
And everybody goes and buys X-Actos, and then they buy the box of 100 blades for $11.99. And then, of course, if you're like any good hobbyist, you leave the blade on that thing for way too long, and it gets way too dull, and you end up either cutting yourself or bashing the crap out of some of your models because it's
taking
blunt.
a big old healthy chunk out of a shoulder pad or something that you can't fix. Yeah,
Yeah,
been there.
that kind of thing. Because basically, the off-brand blades are incredibly cheap. I mean, they are crappy metal, and they don't hold an edge past the 4th or 5th cut through a piece of plastic. The X-Acto blades, even the little high-end ones with the gold edges they have now, are still pretty shitty overall.
Gold edges?
Yeah, they have these new X-Acto blades that are like super titanium or something, and they just put a gold glint to the edge to set them apart from their normal refills.
Yeah, but gold would be a terrible metal to make a blade out of.
Sure would, and that's kind of what they seem like.
Okay.
But they charge you more.
Because it has gold on it.
For 5 of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's not gold, obviously.
Oh, okay.
They're just as crappy as their normal blades.
Okay.
But they changed the color and charge more.
Fair enough.
There's also a resource you can jump on Amazon and get reasonably inexpensive, and that's surgical scalpels.
Okay.
With scalpel blades and handles. I know even Citadel put out for a while, their hobby knife was a scalpel blade holder. So, I mean, if you have one of those older ones, you probably already know this, but just a note that scalpel blades are probably twice the price of X-Acto blades, but they last infinitely longer because most of them, except the cheapest brands, are surgical steel. They're designed to hold an edge. They don't want them to go dull while they're cutting on a patient.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah, kinda. So, just if you're annoyed about having to replace your X-Acto blade every, 3rd model that you build, look into getting scalpels from Amazon. I mean, you can get a box of 100 number 10 blades are the curved ones. Number 11 blades are the straight ones that look more like an X-Acto knife blade. And you get a handle with them, and they're super flexible. They're really easy to handle. They are very sharp, you can imagine, because they use them to cut on people.
Yeah.
Now you can buy if you buy the super cheap ones like the 100 blades for $5.99. Those are not. They come non-sterile and they're not surgical steel, so they do suck. But these things last probably 3 to 4 times longer than an X-Acto knife. So, just a quick tip.
Yeah, I have heard other shows talk about, or I've seen on Twitter and stuff. Occasionally, people will talk about using scalpels.
Yep.
As for their hobby.
Yeah.
They do work significantly better.
Yep.
So awesome. Do you have one? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
There?
This is the Citadel knife holder, and it's a scalpel blade.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. It's sharp. Watch it.
Oh, this is People made fun of this when it came out because it was like a $35.
Oh yeah.
X-Acto knife.
Yeah.
But I guess if you're going to be putting high quality, holy cow, yeah, that is a blade.
Yeah. See, this is what you get. I mean, this is a super cheap blade or handle, but it will definitely do the job. And, you're going to pay a little more up front, probably like twice as much, but you're going to get one hell of a lot more use out of it.
Yeah. That is ridiculously sharp.
Yeah.
As I shave my pubes here. Anyways, yeah, good call.
Yeah. Just a quick thing. Yep. So, anyhow, now let's move on to Everchosen.
Is he a god? Oh, wait, no, we already did that.
Yeah, we did that show.
Oh.
Everchosen was the big worldwide painting competition. And I know we talked about it before it happened, and now it's after it happened.
Yep.
And there is some salt out there.
Wait. Something happened in the tabletop gaming community. And after the fact, you're telling me that there are people who are a bit salty. When did this become a thing?
Probably right around when the internet came out.
Oh, that damned internet.
I know, it's terrible. Well, I mean, it's kind of, I think a lot of the sentiment that says, hang on, wait a minute, was the talk from some of the stores and some of the areas is that Everchosen turned more into a popularity contest than a painting contest.
Okay.
And I don't, I'd like to think at our store that the best 3 models won. I mean, I voted.
No, I wasn't there. I was
Yeah.
out of town.
You were out of town. But I mean, I think the best 3 models won there. So I don't know. And I'm sure that at some places it happened that the popular guy at the store or, what have you, took home the prize and maybe shouldn't have. I don't want to mention any names, but a reasonably incredibly well-known painter actually placed 3rd in his local store. So makes you kind of wonder sometimes about, where everything goes. But then I've also seen or heard of some entries that were just like crazy over the top Golden Demon type things that didn't place in their store. So I don't know. We'll see when the whole thing goes up on the website. I think that's going to be pretty soon that they put up all the entries.
I have no idea.
I think it's near the end of August that they put up for worldwide voting.
Yeah, maybe. I saw some people talking about it like on Instagram and stuff. Instagram's a great place for finding painted models and
Oh, yeah.
things like that. And I saw a guy that painted I believe it was just a regular swooping hawk. I don't think it was Baharoth. And it was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And he came in 2nd place.
Yeah.
But he posted pictures of what beat him.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, okay. I mean, it wasn't a clear winner.
Yeah.
But it was definitely competition. So, yeah, that was really the only evidence that I saw of a fantastically painted model not winning, and it was because it was beat by another fantastically painted model.
Yeah.
So I don't know about any like negative fallout and stuff. And you also have to take some of that with a grain of, you have to take all that salt with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Some people might just be better that they didn't win or their buddy didn't win or.
Well, sure. And then, there's always going to be that.
So, yeah, I don't know.
But I keep going back to that thing, and I think Vince Ventrella said it, was that having people that don't know painting all that well, judging painting, is a really bad idea.
Yeah.
Because they don't know what went into making, most people don't know what goes into making a golden demon.
Sure. And I get that, except that, this isn't the crystal brush, right?
Right.
$10,000 isn't on the line.
Yeah.
It's just a really cool sword and some recognition.
Adulation from worldwide fans. Yeah.
Which I'm not saying that's not a substantial reward.
Right.
But it's not like you're putting, I don't know, college tuition on the line
here
or something. So, and I think it's also very cool that Games Workshop is doing something like this. They're just throwing it all out to allow everybody who can compete. Obviously there's some people out there that are going to struggle to get to a store.
Yeah.
But it just opened it up for so many more people. And I think that's really cool. So,
I do too.
And it obviously is a flawed system, but
no, it's not perfect, but I challenge you to find a better one to weed out, if you want to include the whole world, this was a pretty good way to do it, I think.
I would struggle to find a better way.
Yeah, I can't.
In all honesty.
Yeah. Short of having a painting rubric at every store and having every person who votes has to go through it, which would become an onerous task, which would kind of take a lot of the...
And who grades it?
Yeah.
You're assuming that every store manager is qualified at a painting, his painting knowledge, his or her painting knowledge is such that they can understand the techniques that you've put in.
Right.
I don't know. I think that's a big ask.
I do too. And I think, honestly, the system worked overall really, really well.
Yeah.
I'm dying to see the stuff that got, submitted and in.
Yeah, definitely.
Whew.
Definitely.
Yeah. I can just seeing some of the stuff that came from pictures that I've seen, like you said, on Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff, just, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Crazy good stuff. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the Ever-Chosen.
Is he a god? Oh, wait, no.
Yeah. I think it's going to be good.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think if you're upset about how it happened, talk to your store manager.
Yeah.
Maybe try to work that one out. So let's talk battle. Some interesting events occurred this weekend.
A lot of events occurred this weekend.
That's true. But I think the biggest one was the European Team Championships.
The ETC.
In Serbia. I could have sworn that place was like in the middle of a war. Or am I just...
Once upon a time, yeah. They had a scuffle. A kerfuffle. Could you describe the ruckus?
I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was ruckful.
That's, yeah. It's a minor genocide.
Well, okay.
Like a minor heart attack.
See, genocide to you is ethnic cleansing to me.
Right, yeah. You're a glass half full kind of guy.
That's right.
Jeez.
I'm an optimist.
Yeah.
So anyway, they had the ETC over there in Serbia, and I think from the pictures and the shots, I think the tables left a little bit to be desired terrain-wise.
Oh, that is putting it lightly.
Yeah.
These made like 6th edition Warhammer Fantasy Battle tables look
overpopulated.
Yeah, densely covered.
Yeah.
So, taking that into account, maybe next year you take like heavily shooting armies because there is nothing getting in the way.
Well, I don't think they're going to do it in Serbia. I think they change it. Don't they change location?
So the way they used to do it was whoever won. It was hosted in their country. And then somehow it went to Serbia. I know Serbia did not win the ETC, but somehow it went to Serbia. I think what happened was the year before it was held in Switzerland.
Right.
And Switzerland is like ludicrously expensive for everything.
Oh, yeah.
And so the people who went were like, yeah, this place is beautiful, but holy shit.
We can't afford it.
Yeah, you cannot afford to make this a regular thing. And then the next year it was held in Serbia, and everybody was like, well, it's not exactly 5-star, but
Yeah.
money will, I mean, you could live like a king over here.
Okay.
And it's just super cheap for everything. And it's just been in Serbia for like the last 3 or 4 years now.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that's probably where it's going to stay.
Well, maybe they should adopt something like, a lot of English clubs do, where everybody brings some terrain.
Except that, could you imagine flying from the U.S. to Serbia with not only your army but some big ass bulky chunks of terrain?
Well, I mean, if you're going, I think it would be easier if you're coming from Europe to do something like that, or even perhaps neighboring countries. But I mean, if you're coming from America, hey, bring something small. Bring something that's not.
Or if it's going to be held in Serbia every year and you already have this established governing community in charge of it, then perhaps every team has to put forth a little change, and then
a little coin.
Yeah, and then the FIFA of the ETC puts forth terrain, makes it, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But they're probably busy writing anti-doping regulations.
Yeah.
Well, you said FIFA. So
I don't know. I would imagine, seeing as how England took both Age of Sigmar and 40K,
yeah,
there might be a hard pull from England to say, well, hey, next year it's going to be here.
Yeah.
The home of all of this.
The home of miniatures gaming.
You guys can come over here and take it from our cold, dead fingers.
That's right. So, you let the cat out of the bag, but props to England, Team England, for kicking butt in both game systems.
Yeah.
40K and AOS. The England AOS team was kind of stacked.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, that's a bit of a NBA dream team.
Yeah, it's a who's who of I'll kick your
yeah
in AOS anytime, anywhere. So
yeah, I think I've read about some of those guys.
Yeah,
like
there's this one
blog post or something.
Yeah, Jack Armstrong fella. He's won a couple of small events.
I think a couple of them have like a podcast or something.
Yeah,
where they talk about
something,
how to build armies. I don't know.
Yeah,
whatever. It's all convoluted.
Yeah, it's a drama story.
Yeah, no. England definitely came to play.
Yeah,
they take that bad boy, and they did.
They won the whole event
resoundingly
before the last round.
Yeah.
They could not be beat.
And on top of that, this is the real kicker. I think this is the thing to be really proud of, is not only did they absolutely obliterate everybody they came up against, they also won Best Sports.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Yeah. So not only are they pounding your face into the table, but they're making you happy while they do it.
Yep.
So again,
they know how to give a reach around.
Yeah. Go Patrol. Okay. So, but in other news about ETC, Team USA came in second.
Who are them?
Scrubs, basically. Obviously, they didn't win it, so
yeah, it doesn't really count.
It's one of those deals where
here in America, if you ain't first, you're dead last.
That's right. I think Trump would say, "Losers."
No, massive
you guys
shout out
did
to
great.
Yeah, big recovery because they played England round one and got
schmaltzed.
Yeah, they got hammered pretty hard.
Yeah,
so to turn that ship around and finish as strong as they did.
Yeah, so
it got pretty tight there. If you look at the point spread for like second all the way to like seventh, I think there's maybe 40 points that split all of that. So yeah, for them to ride that wave and stay on top.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Team USA.
You betcha. And yeah, I mean, so Bill Sousa and all the guys out there.
Captain America.
Well done.
Absolutely.
Well done, sir. So yeah, mad props to you guys for, keeping the...
Flying halfway across the world to kick ass in our names.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. You are true patriots. So I'd have a parade in your honor when you come back, but I can't afford it, and you're probably not going to come to Albuquerque for some stupid motorcade, you know?
It's just us driving down our car flashing people anyways.
Pretty much, yeah.
We're going streaking!
But also in battle, we had Blackout.
Yes, we did.
That's an event that happened in England.
It is, run by Chris Tomlin of the Black Sun fame.
What is... Oh, is that a... Oh, that's a podcast.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
It was a podcast.
That's true, it was. But they have cool dice.
They do.
Yeah.
They have some of the best pink dice you can get your mitts on.
Betcha.
And I don't know a whole lot about this. In fact, I did not even know Blackout was going on the same weekend until the results popped up and people started going crazy over that. So we can talk about Ideneth Deepkin taking out first place. How sweet is that? Because they have been very much a bridesmaid army.
Yes.
They poke their head into the top 3 here and there.
Right.
They make a pretty strong showing in the top 10, but I don't think they've really taken out an event.
But how can that be? Because they are so strong and powerful compared to other factions. Except, perhaps...
Yeah.
Yeah. Which one?
Slaanesh? Is that the one you want to talk about?
Could it be?
So, yeah. 5 of the top 10. Including second and third, goes to Slaanesh. We have not seen results like that since LVO a couple of years ago when Tzeentch absolutely dominated the field.
Yeah.
Now, I've watched this shuttlecock, if you will, be batted back and forth across the net on whether or not Slaanesh really is the end-all, be-all like Tzeentch. Because I think Tzeentch was just redonkulous.
Yeah.
Whereas it seems like Slaanesh has hard counters in the game. It's just that those hard counters are not quite making the appearance that they should be, perhaps. Because I know I've been in some chats where guys like Relian has mentioned some of his games with Slaanesh. A lot of them are, I just walk over my opponent. But some of them, it's like, this army just doesn't have the tools to necessarily deal with what my opponent puts on the table.
Right.
So, and I felt like Tzeentch never had that problem.
No, they could
back
take
in the
all
heyday of
comers.
Tzeentch. Right. So, I don't know.
Well, and that's just it, is you'll see a result like this, and then you'll go to the next, decent-sized event, and they'll be 8th. With one showing in the top 10.
That's the thing, though, is they don't, right? Slaanesh doesn't. And a lot of people say, well, look at all the Slaanesh that falls in the rest of it, right? What about the Slaanesh player that comes in like 83rd out of 100?
Yeah.
I still don't think that justifies 5 of the top 10 being one army.
Yeah, it is it's a tough sell.
When, because people weren't saying that about KO, right? When Gary would take like second with Quadrant Overlords and the next best would be like 53rd.
Right.
And then KO got just absolutely nerf batted to the face over and over and over. Slaanesh isn't getting that kind of treatment. So I don't know. I don't want to go into a big old rant about them.
No.
But it is interesting that they had such a numerous presence at the top.
Mm-hmm.
However, 3 of the top 10 were Stormcast Eternals.
Yeah, so go figure. And the biggest, Slaanesh needs desperately multi-wound models to kill so that they can build up depravity points.
Right.
And the Stormcast offer that up in spades.
They do.
You would think that they would just nullify each other.
Yeah, but
in this case,
heavy shooting Stormcast army is no joke.
No, that's right.
So,
that's right.
It's probably just not terribly fun to play.
Nah.
But, if you're just there to crank out 5 games for a win, you're like, well, I'm gonna grind through it and shoot the piss out of my opponent and hope it works, then there you go.
Yeah.
And then the other in the top 10 was Iron Jaws.
Yeah. Go figure.
Good old Iron Jaws, man. I love to see that.
And again, though, that you would think going up against Slaanesh, which you have to imagine as they were filtering to the top, they would meet each other. Orcs are another, or Iron Jaws are another faction that
Jaws.
gives up a lot of depravity because they have lots of multi-wound models.
Yeah, and the problem with Iron Jaws is they don't get to play at all in the activation wars.
Right.
So if you make a bad move with Iron Jaws, you're going to give up a lot of depravity points to a Slaanesh player.
That's
so,
right.
But if I don't know, I guess if the dice are a little in your favor and they don't activate that whole going first thing, you are absolutely going to smash that Slaanesh
You are just going
player.
to crush through that army with your 75 attacks, all re-rolling hits and wounds. So
I don't know.
It's there's counter, and this is why, like I said, I don't even want to start to go screaming OP about Slaanesh because they have so many hard counters.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it'll be, and I really want to see what these two new books do to them as well. Because one is a heavily combat army with Iron Jaws being backed up now by a disgusting shooting army with the potential of a Cunning Rock. I mean, some of that may change in the new book, the formations and stuff, and then just seeing what kind of flavor of madness we get with the Free Peoples, and then all that being said, I think Top Gloomspite was maybe 43rd or something, but hey, they're great.
they're just as powerful as they've ever been.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Gloomspite. Anyways,
Isn't that sad?
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
But then in WarCry, in battle, we had a game. We mentioned it before.
We did, Bill. We played a game.
Game.
I think we can finally retire the podcast.
I think so. We can quit now because we've achieved our goal.
Yeah, we played a game.
We had to take WarCry out for a spin.
Yeah.
It was just too fun not to.
And we did a full-on game, 1,000 points each side. Drew the random cards.
Drew the cards, drew the victory conditions. It was balls to the wall good fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun from start to finish. Even as I cheated and tried to move through models and around them with my double moves.
I had to watch you.
Yes, very carefully.
It's fine. I understand. Whatever it takes to win.
And I wasn't just sort of mildly trying to cheat. It was like, I'm just going to move right through here. Yeah.
Bill, would that make you a knack player? You have your win at all cost, but would you be a narrative at all cost?
I love it. Yes, I'm knack.
You're such a knacker.
I am.
Wait.
I'm a knacker.
Whoa. Yeah, let's back that up.
Let's back this whole thing up.
Back that up.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, note to self: remove clean rating.
Wow, that made a hard turn.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, so I mean, we kind of gushed over WarCry at the top of the show, but I think we'll do it again.
Yeah,
here it is. It's so much fun.
Yes,
it is so much fun. And the other week, you and Chad have been trying to pull me into Underworlds,
right?
Because I know that was the game that's been resonating with Chad because it's a smaller game, smaller. Far fewer models to paint. It's a less of a headache to set up, et cetera, et cetera.
Exactly.
And, I never really enjoyed Underworlds when it came out,
right.
And I kind of poo-pooed it forever now. Except I love the models. Every time a new warband comes out, I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah,
They definitely crush it in that department. And then I finally sat down and played it, and I enjoyed it, for what it was. But I think WarCry is better.
Okay.
They are two different games.
Yeah, they're different games. I think when you have that sort of card-driven map mentality, Underworlds really scratches that itch. I really enjoy the heck out of that game. To me, WarCry fills that kill team niche. It's that you're moving around a skirmish band. You're playing pure miniatures. I mean, it's more along the lines of what we're used to, and it's.
Right.
I think Doug Griggs made a really good point. The 2+ Tough guy, he made a really good point when he said that it reminded him of the early days of AOS when we had a 4-page rule book and everything was simple. We didn't have all this convoluted extra stuff that went into it. WarCry, you can teach someone WarCry in about 5 minutes. And then you're playing and having a grand old time, and then you start figuring out the combos, and you start figuring out the moves and the sequencing of doing things. And it's one of those deals where, yeah, it takes 5 minutes to learn, but it's going to take a long time to actually master a warband and get really good with it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I can understand how Underworld would scratch that itch of, like, you know, if you're a Magic the Gathering fan or something like this, because it adds the cards and that level of randomness and
there's,
whatnot.
you know, the deck building aspect and the,
sure.
you know.
But for me, I enjoy tabletop gaming far more than I enjoy card gaming. And so this allowed me to play Age of Sigmar. Right, which I have not had a chance to play in a very long time.
Yep.
And do so in a fun, quick, not convoluted fashion.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm so hyped for it. I got to pick up my starter set one of these days and go from there, because the Iron Golems are definitely one of the factions I want to play, and then some of the other ones look really good too.
Yeah, they all. I've picked up 4 of the factions so far, and they all have something that they do that's really kind of fun. And they all have a shtick, you know.
Yeah.
So it's, and you know, I hear some people grumbling like Flesh Eater Courts is kind of perhaps overpowered in the game. They're just really good, and you know, I don't know. It's
okay, fine.
I want to see, as it goes, where everything falls in line.
Yeah, it's not even all out yet.
Yeah, for me, I just want to play the Chaos bands that are with the game that it was meant for, you know, and then I'll branch out into the other ones. Because, I mean, they all look fun, and I think it's going to be great fun to buy a small box of Iron Jaws and be able to play a game with them without having to invest in an Iron Jaws army, you know.
Yeah.
And same thing with all of them, really. I mean, I have enough stuff to make most of the armies. So I think this is how I'm going to start my Daughters of Cain. Is going to be to put together a Daughters of Cain WarCry band and see how they perform.
No, Bill, you're going to do it the same way you're going to do your Imperial Guard. You're going to buy Marathi first.
I have one.
Oh, all right. Well, then
she's right
carry
up
on.
there.
Carry on.
Okay, so
of course you have a Marathi.
Yeah, how can I? And just so that I can have some unearned street cred.
Oh boy,
I have the old Marathi too. The old
that's right. Yeah, I remember
plastic
buying
Marathi.
that.
Yep.
The old plastic metal hybrid.
That's right.
Oh, is it all resin cast, fine cast?
No, that one's the old metal and plastic. It's the metal and
so good.
I think it's metal and fail cast, right?
I don't know. No, because if it was fail cast or fine
that's
cast,
right.
it would all be fine cast.
That's right. That's right.
The original was a metal with, I think, no, it was all metal.
Okay, maybe. Yeah.
I thought maybe the wings were plastic, but no, I believe that is an all metal kit.
Yeah. So that's my fake.
It does not matter anymore.
That I can make believe I used to play in the old days.
Yeah.
So yay.
You poser.
Yeah, it's me. So I think we can give WarCry our unconditional support.
Absolutely.
Because
two very hard, rigid, throbbing thumbs up.
Yeah. There goes the rating.
Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely for sure. It's a thing. So what we were going to talk about now that we finished up all the fighting portions, were there any other events you wanted to cover? I'm sorry, before.
Oh, yes, there was. I just want to give it a shout out. Oh, wait. Pompeii Pillage.
The Pompeii Pillage.
Yeah. So that kicked off this last weekend as well.
Nice.
With Flesh Eater Courts taking that one out, and then Fire Slayers, followed by Sylvaneth. So
really?
Yeah.
Fire Slayers, Flesh Eaters, and Sylvaneth.
Keep in mind, the ETC was pre-GHB.
Oh,
so
wow.
Yeah, that's one of the big snags with the ETC is that they use kind of outdated stuff, and I don't know why you would do that.
When was their cutoff date?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's not, but that's crazy because I mean GHB's been out for a month or more.
Yeah, more than that.
Yeah, that's
I don't understand.
I mean, I guess to get the team squared away and to get everything submitted because they want everything in long before the event so people can plan.
Yeah,
They probably have a very early cutoff.
It's 12 teams, right, of 6 players each.
Yeah.
So not even a 100-player event.
Yeah.
And you can't get your stuff organized faster than that.
Hey, it's multinational. They have to translate some of the stuff probably.
Yeah, I don't buy that.
Well, the English stuff had to be translated, I'm sure. Okay.
Yeah, no. I don't know. I don't know why they get it figured out. Anyways,
Get it figured out, damn it.
Yeah, so that is the events, I believe.
Sweet. I mean, I know there were more, but until they start reporting to us and talking about their event, we won't know about them. So,
yeah,
send us your
definitely.
events.
Especially if you really liked our shout out to Mile High Massacre and you want your event shouted out in a similar
Just
fashion.
like that. We will ridicule and belittle you as well. Oh, I did want to send a shout out at the beginning of the show, but I'm too big of an idiot.
Oh, well, it's gone.
I can't do it now.
No, Bill. We are 3 knuckles deep into this already. And now you want to, what is it? Come on. What is it?
I want to send a shout out to Sean Feather and the Basement Wargamers for sending us all the cool loot.
Oh, they did. Yeah. Hey guys, thanks.
No, seriously, the Basement Wargamers and Sean, thank you guys so much for that care package. That was completely unexpected, and well, it was actually expected. You told me about it, but it was super great to get. I mean, because they sent us some shirts and a can koozie and a shot glass and a cool combat gauge, and all from the Slaughter event. So thank you so much for thinking of us like that. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, massive shout out to Bill for giving him the wrong shirt size for me. Thank you for that, Bill. You either don't remember me when you get shirts or you remember the wrong size.
I'm just trying to provide you that goal in your weight loss.
Get down to a medium husky.
Look, you were the one that told me you were going to the gym. Okay?
Yeah. Doesn't mean I'm working out. Just creeping in the corner.
Okay.
Come on.
You're just stalking the girls.
Total side note here, right? Cool story. Has nothing to do with any of this. Dave Bautista works out at my gym. Drax the Destroyer works out at my gym.
Your gym.
At my gym. And he is a freak of nature.
Okay, yeah.
He is 6.5 feet tall, chiseled from granite delivered from God, and tattooed.
I think you have a man crush.
Like, well, it's not even a man crush, Bill. It's understanding the circle of life and where you fit in, and knowing that if that man wanted to, he could take my wallet, my shirt, and my dignity from me, and there's really nothing I could do about it but weep softly.
That's true.
And I hope he calls me in the morning. Yeah. So, yeah, I just thought I'd throw that out there.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, he is a gargantuan human being.
Yeah, he is. He's like you said, a freak of nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's 50 years old, and he looks.
And, yeah. And, like you said, he's still like he's cut out of stone.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Marble.
That's cool.
Like
fine Italian marble.
Yeah, that naked one that the old Italian guy made.
You mean David?
Is that what it is?
Oh, God.
D'Angelo?
Oh, God.
Oh, that's an R&B singer, isn't it?
That's right, folks.
What's going on anymore?
You're hearing the fruits of a New Mexico education.
Oh, this is what brownies do to you right before. Wait. Legit brownies bought from the store. Not talking.
Yeah, no.
Those Mile High Massacre brownies that they're going to have. Oh, Randall's never going to talk to us again.
We will never get a plug for a Colorado show again.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, I know.
Where are we in this whole thing? We shouted out events.
Yeah, we sure did. Now I want to get into the Banhammer.
Oh, yeah. I remember you wanted to talk about this.
Yeah, and this is kind of, if you remember a couple of shows ago, and I talked about the General's Handbook and how they put the Player's Code of Conduct in the front, and I said that was a heinous waste of space. which I really didn't mean because obviously that stuff needed to be in there. And honestly, the more I hear about events going on around the world, the more I believe those 2 pages that they devoted to the player's code of conduct really probably need to be plastered up all over the place.
Yeah.
So, without naming names or even stating things that are happening.
Oh, no. We are going to explicitly call individuals out in the community.
All right,
and
fine.
we will publicly shame them so that they never poke their heads out of their tiny little troll caves again.
Okay.
Right?
No.
Is that how we're No?
I don't even have good names. I just have,
Let's just make up some names. How about Steven
Altdorf. Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, I hate you.
Look, you single-handedly ruined, let's think of a good event name. The
Sigmar's Clash.
Yeah.
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 Loser.
Yeah. Go back to your mother's basement.
Yeah.
Clown shoes.
You whack.
You knacker. My God.
Anyway.
This is what happens when we go 3 weeks without recording.
And then have
we lose our swing of things.
red meat and sugar.
Yeah. Got to learn how to let it swing again. So what do you want to talk about here?
What I want to talk about is those people that ruin events at any level, whether it's a major event, a GT, a 6-man tournament at the local Warhammer Club.
Yeah. Those are all valid.
Those are all, there's always somebody that runs around.
Well, not always.
Okay, you're right.
Let's not, because I don't want to taint all events that there's always going to be that guy, right?
No, but yeah, you're right. And that's a very bad statement on my part. So,
but it does happen.
It does happen. And here's the deal. When it happens, it doesn't always have to be the tournament organizer that calls it out. But for the love of God, make sure the TO knows what's going on and that this person's being a dork.
Please do.
And if you're a club and you have that guy in your club, either sit him down and talk to him and say, hey, guy, you're making us look bad. Or if he doesn't want to take that as a firm but gentle reminder to not be such a jerk, kick him the hell out of your club.
Yeah.
Make it to where they can't find a game.
Disassociate.
These are not the people we need. I mean, if you have the guy whose joy in life is to club the baby seals that walk into the game store, you can try to talk to him.
Well, hold on. Because being that guy is not necessarily a bad thing. Being a hyper-competitive guy is not necessarily a bad thing, as long as you're clear about your intent, right? And you're not a douche nozzle about how you play your games. I don't think that's who we're talking about. We're talking about guys who go out of their way to make the game unenjoyable for their opponent.
Yes.
And that does poke its ugly head out at events. And the problem is a lot of people will not call that person into question.
Right.
With what happens this is coming from a retired tournament organizer.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
What happens is players don't want to report a person because you don't want to rock the boat.
Yeah.
Right. And then even when players finally do report stuff, a lot of times a TO doesn't want to act because they don't want to rock the boat. They just want the event to go and just kind of get over with.
Yeah.
And hopefully everybody has a good enough
through
time.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but what we want to talk about is that person who really crosses the line.
Yes.
And what do you do with that, right?
Yep. And, I think I got to throw a shout out to Reese and the guys at Frontline Gaming and the ITC because they have put out a document that spells out behavior at a tournament. And they have instituted, like in soccer, a yellow card and a red card system.
Yeah.
And you'll get a yellow card if you are in violation of these rules of not being a jerk. And if you get 2 yellow cards, guess what? That's equals a red card and you're gone. If you get a red card, you're gone.
Yep.
And they have, and I know Reese took a lot of crap for it. And yeah, but you know what? The system works. Everybody knows going into the event what the expectation of their behavior is. And then when you violate that, he can, in good conscience now, walk up to you and say, you have done the following thing in violation of our rules. You are now asked to leave. Bye.
Yep.
And I know a lot of TOs, and speaking from measures of experience, when you have somebody that comes to a paid event, you kind of feel like, well, they paid to be here. I kind of need to make some allowances for them to play their kind of game. So without any ammo, if you don't have a system like this in place, it's very difficult to throw someone out of your game. Now, I mean, if they show up drunk and belligerent and stupid,
well, yeah,
it's real easy to throw them out.
Yeah.
The thing to me that you have to keep in mind as a TO, or even as the guy at the club or the game store, is this is more geared towards tournaments, but everybody else paid to be there too. And I always go with the idea that this tournament may just be that person's one vacation during the year. And they're there to have fun and enjoy playing some games with cool people. And if they get subjected to a player who is a complete and total loser, you are taking away from them part of the money and the trip that they've saved up for. It's really, I'm telling you, if you're going to have an event, make sure you have a code of conduct. And feel free to, the ITC, all that stuff is freely available on the Frontline Gaming website. You can take a look at their code of conduct, and you can lift it verbatim, or you can grab it and make some changes, but have a system in place and make it to where people know what is expected of them behavior-wise before you start, so that you don't even have to get involved in a confrontation. I know a lot of people don't like confrontation.
Yeah,
they don't like to face somebody down, especially if he's like a lot bigger than you, or, he's a favorite in the local community and you really,
or he's a buddy of yours.
Yeah, exactly. So,
now I'll tell you because, I've helped run, I helped run LVO, major ITC event. And I have had to go around and give yellow cards. Yeah. And, unfortunately, red card as well. And I can tell you the system works is when you pull somebody aside and say, hey, this is what's going on. These are the complaints that have been leveled against you. So I'm giving you a yellow card, and I will be watching your game to ensure that these complaints don't carry on. The look on the face of that player lets you know that they're going to, if it is an issue, they're likely going to clean it up. Yeah. And stuff. So, but it does require you as a TO to step up and say, okay, I got to confront this person and say, look, there are now consequences for your actions. And in order to help kind of be on your side as well, I'm going to watch how you're playing and make sure it's not something that continues. So, yeah, I mean, it sucks that it comes to that sometimes. I know. It's what you got to do.
It does, and when you think about it in the smallest microcosm that you can, let's say your local game store and your 8-man tournament, and you have that guy and you have to deal with it at that level, keep in mind that there are also people looking on to see how events are run in this particular system and in this particular niche of the hobby. And if all they see is the AOS/40K guys running around like a bunch of jackasses and being complete jerks to each other.
Yeah, guys throwing their models across the room, smashing stuff, then screaming at each other.
Yeah, what do you think they think about that game going forward? I'm never going to touch that. Yep. Those guys are jerks. And it kind of ties in a little bit because we received an email from a listener, and we're not going to mention his name. He didn't really feel the need to have his name sent out there, but he emailed us with a pretty interesting list of questions. But one of his comments was, he talks about his local game stores and how when he goes there, now this guy is a little bit older than most gamers. He's kind of more my age than Elric's age. So he's closer to 55 than he is, 22?
God, I love you, Bill. Yeah, I'm very close to 22. Thank you for that.
So he's closer to me than he is you, though. And, he goes to the store and he sees basically the unwashed masses. And when I say the unwashed masses, I don't mean the ignorant little people. I mean the people who smell like absolute ass.
Magic players.
Yeah. Well, he's actually talking about in the gaming realm.
The tabletop
the
game?
tabletop
Oh,
gaming realm. Yeah.
Come on.
Like, he's talking about a Warhammer store. Not a lot of magic going on there. Yeah. So, if you're that guy, I mean, honestly, if you need... Before you go to play games, take a smell test,
Right.
Just really, it's not hard. And showers are almost always freely available. Good Lord.
The fact that we have to... I don't know. I'm so tired of this having to be a thing.
It is. Right? It's really, really bad.
There should be a class in high school.
Yeah.
How to wash your ass 101. Right?
It's true.
How to fill out a W-2 and how to wash your ass.
Yeah.
Like 2 things that you're going to actually use in life.
How to use soap on a rope. Yeah.
Something.
But more onto this guy's letter because it tweaked our interest because the man is very new to the AOS hobby, but he's a well-established gamer. He's got lots and lots of regular games under his belt. And he's trying to break into the AOS hobby. And he's finding it very difficult because at the Warhammer store, the proprietor isn't really up to speed on where all the different groups are, and there isn't a group that plays Sigmar there. So it's kind of hard for him to find a group of people, and then when he does find them at the different game stores around town, they're kind of people that he might not really want to associate with on a basic level, mostly because they smell funny, Yeah. So how are we putting forth our hobby? How are we representing, and if you don't care, well, maybe you should think about things. But the flip side of it is if you have a group in your city and you're playing AOS regularly, why don't you advertise it? Why don't you have a Facebook? Why don't you make sure the game store owners know that you're out there? Just the simple things. Make your groups more available.
Make Ward Gaming great again.
That's right.
Okay.
Wooga.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's...
I guess I'm just still caught up on the fact that people need to be told
to wash.
To wash.
I know. It's kind of crazy.
It's disconcerting, that's for sure.
Well, what's scary to me about this email is that here's someone that has a great drive to become a part of the hobby.
Sure.
And he's finding it very difficult, not because there's like a financial block or there's an availability block. He's finding it hard to get available because he can't find players. And he can't find players of a level that would be considered the norm, reasonable people, like not the unwashed masses, if you don't mind my saying. I'm not going to say where he lives or anything like that, because we don't want to cast aspersions like that. But honestly, the big thing, if you have a club and you have a group of gamers, even if it's Garage Hammer, And even if you really just want to keep it to your little close group of friends and maybe add somebody once a year or something, put your name out there. Put your stuff out there in the game store so people know how to find you. It's so hard for people to break into this hobby, and we really don't want to turn anyone away.
We never talk about that, right? Like when we talk about entry to the barrier to entry, it's always the cost of the game.
Yeah.
We never address the fact that you kind of need someone else to play this game with.
Yeah, you need.
I guess we talk about that sometimes, and like how to build your community and everything. But that, like, I feel like that is probably the biggest barrier to entry. Mm-hmm. Is just finding somebody else to play this damn game with.
Yeah, someone of like mind, and
Yeah.
So
that's a real pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I guess sometimes we really take it for granted that we have like a Warhammer store locally, or just even, like if we were into 40K more, there is a ton of 40K players here in Albuquerque.
Oh, yeah.
But Age of Sigmar does struggle, from time to time.
It does.
But we can still count ourselves lucky that we could, at any point in time, really go get a game of Age of Sigmar in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And there's some people out there that really don't have that
No
luxury. So
and that's really kind of sad. And it what kills me is that this guy is in no small town. This isn't some little,
Yeah, well, I don't know anybody personally, but I know of that community up there, and I think there is a sizable community that gets events together and stuff. So I don't know if there's just maybe miscommunication, perhaps. I don't know.
It's weird, but we're gonna have to reach out to those folks and let them know. But it's just that whole thing of, and it ties back into our talk about the jerk players. If you're a club, police your club. Make sure your club is representing really what you want it to represent. And I'm not saying that you have to be namby-pamby, let's play softball with everybody. You can have a very, very competitive club, but you can also be very, very inclusive and bring people into that club. It's not hard to do, and you'll grow another opponent, and you'll grow somebody else that you can beat their face off. So,
as long as it's just their face you're beating off.
We seriously going to lose our clean rating.
Oh, yeah.
So, we're going to cover more on this email in different episodes, because it's a very long and very well thought out email.
Yeah.
And poses a lot of interesting questions to the hobby at large and the community at large, which honestly, being so into it, I've never really looked at it from that point of view as, someone who's on the outside looking in. And it's weird. It's like you said, that's a really big barrier to entry, is finding someone to play with. And perhaps we're not always, we're so into the drama of our own little clubs that we don't think about how we're putting ourselves out there, how much we're putting ourselves out there. So that was kind of all I had for the Banhammer thing. Okay. And again, I'll say, if you're running an event, have a code of conduct and make sure people know what's going to happen if they violate it.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it'll...
Okay. Something similarly related, I want to bring up, question I want to ask. Is there some kind of medium, some kind of a website or whatever, that people can use just to post their groups, and some kind of a meetup type thing? I feel like we've talked about something like this in the past. Now, I know that there's stuff like, what was that site that Ben Curry did?
The Grand Alliance.
The Grand Alliance, but that's not a thing anymore. I thought he let that go, didn't he?
No, I think it's back up. I think they had issues, but it's back up.
Okay. Well, I never used it because, you can use it to kind of organize and everything, but then it's also a forum board. Mm-hmm. Because of the forum board aspect, it's very easy to be shitty to each other.
Yeah.
I hate to put it like that, because there's a lot of positivity on there too, and and all of that stuff. But it's also an easy way to snipe at each other and create division. I'm wondering if there's a website that is dedicated solely to just groups. We talked about this in like episode 12 or something like that. I swear we did.
Uncle Adam over there at Tabletop Minions has that Game 4 app.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he actually mentions in the email that he's used it. And maybe it's something that we need to get Uncle Adam on here and talk about.
Yeah, let's do something like that.
I don't think a lot of people know about it. And, again, it's one of those things where the only place I've ever heard it advertised is on his YouTube channel. So maybe we can get him to come on here and talk about it.
Because it's pretty much just post, hey, we play these, because it's not just Age of Sigmar. It's like, hey, these are the games being played in this location.
Yeah, it's a player database kind of thing. That's what they're actually after. And if you're a store, you can jump on there and say, we host these events at these times.
Right.
So maybe
there's so many, because like you take this email, for example, is coming from a listener who lives in a fairly large town that I have seen groups on Facebook and stuff post things about.
Right.
And I feel like, well, yeah, we could potentially
get them
together. But how many other players and groups and stuff are there out there that, like, we know one side, we know side A, but side B isn't a listener?
That's right.
Right? Because we only have X amount of listeners, but there's, Y number of players out there. So it feels like there's got to be, if like we could get the word out of something like that, and then I don't know, like Dave and those guys, they got way more listeners, and or Carl Tuttle, and God, there's, or maybe even Games Workshop, saying hey, because remember they used to put a thing out in the back of White Dwarf that was like independent retailers.
Yeah,
these are the independent retailers, and they don't do that anymore.
No. Because they have it online. It's all on the web.
And it's not even online.
Isn't it?
You can only find a location of Warhammer stores, not independent retailers.
No, it shows.
I couldn't find it.
Well, it shows the big ones. It shows the ones that
I'm pretty sure you couldn't even find Active Imagination on their website anymore.
Really?
AI's been there since, like...
Yeah, I mean, they've been in that
Albuquerque
list
was set up by the Spanish Inquisition.
Nobody expected the Spanish Inquisition.
Or the conquistadors, I guess.
Oh, those guys. Yeah. I hate them. Oh, yeah. So, but, yeah, I mean, let's look at getting Uncle Adam. Maybe he will.
Because that was kind of like the original mission statement of this show, damn it, was
to make the Southwest a little more available to
well, the Southwest, and just getting people together, man.
Mm-hmm.
Let's build this community, baby.
Yeah. And that's kind of what we want to do is, we should all be looking at doing that. I mean, I hate to be preachy, but if we're not growing the hobby, then we're kind of dying.
Well, that is the beauty of this damn game, is you have to have other people physically to play with.
Right.
Right. It's not like video games where you can just sit on your ass and play solo.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could, right? But then you would know the tactic of your opponent.
Well, yeah.
I mean, do you really want to play chess by yourself?
I would fudge the dice rolls.
I don't know. I was a single child growing up, so I might have played a couple of games of chess by myself. Like, I don't want to talk about it, okay, Bill? That's not what this is about.
Wow, did I get just drugged down that rabbit hole?
Yeah.
So, yes, on the Games Workshop store, there's Etten Games, Active Imagination, and Twin Suns.
All right, well, then our job here is done.
Okay, yeah, we're done.
Yeah, we played a game of WarCry. We're retiring the show.
Yeah, thank you all.
Yep, it was nice knowing you.
So
go to Mile High Massacre if you feel like it.
Yeah.
If not, I get it. I won't be there. So.
Wow, we do such a great job plugging these events.
Oh
man.
yeah,
God,
I'll plug Randy anyway. Okay, from here on out, Bill, we will not ingest this level of sugar before a recording. Good Jesus.
Ever.
Yeah,
we will not do this.
Wow.
No more. I will.
Maybe that asshole was onto something about ketosis and Age of Sigmar. Ay.
Okay. Wow. This is going to be one fun show to edit.
Yep.
So, What else do we have to talk about today? Anything? I had extras, but I just had Randingo. And let's not forget about the Sound the War Plums, the YouTube channel.
Definitely.
Links will be in the show notes. So, and that, I mean, I'm dying to look forward. They do quality AOS bat reps too. So
Yeah.
I have been enjoying those. So,
do we want to announce our hobby goals? Do we want to lay this challenge down? Do we want to do what we've always done, where we say we're going to do something and then never actually get around to doing it?
sure.
Yeah.
Because that's always inspiring. Let's do it.
And the community can hold us accountable so that I can just not check my Twitter for the next 6 weeks.
What are we going to do?
Let's you and I and Chaddington, if we can get him in on it, which we won't because he's a bum.
Yeah.
Armies on Parade, Bill.
Armies on Parade.
We're going to do Armies on Parade.
All right.
Right?
What do we have to do for that?
I think we have to get an army and then set up some kind of a float so that it can take part in a parade.
Okay. Wow.
I think there's a website dedicated. Oh, okay, so honestly, this is what throws me off. There's a website dedicated to Armies on Parade.
Mm-hmm.
If there's somebody out there that can explain this better to me, please do. Because I don't know how big the army is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like, is it a point value? It does say that it has like an FAQ. And one of the things says is like, does my army have to follow a force organization chart or whatever? And it says no.
Right.
You can build whatever you want, which it's cool, but how big? Can I just put like, well, here's my 10 Marines and a Rhino. That's my army on a parade.
Yeah.
Or does it have to be like 2,000-ish points? Or can I be like, here is my entire first company of Crimson Fists? So it's like 8,000 points.
Well, it says here, all entries must be displayed in an area no bigger than 2 foot by 2 foot.
Okay.
So that's a limit right there. That's my 3 Bane Blades. I'm done. So let me see here. Best themed. I don't really think there's any kind of limitation in points or what have you. It's a 2 foot by 2 foot display board with whatever you can make really themey on it.
Okay.
So,
I
mean, you could do like just a start collecting box. They even talk about just buy a start collecting box and put that,
right.
So
Very well. So let's throw the gauntlet down.
Okay.
Well, we will be doing Armies on Parade.
Armies on Parade.
And we will also incorporate an escalation league into it.
Nice.
So that we can play the games with the models that we'll be building and painting for our Armies on Parade. Correct?
That'll work. All by October 19th, I believe.
All right. We got 2 months.
Saturday, 19th October.
Oh, boy.
And I have Nova in the middle of that.
That's not my problem.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Hold on. Let me check.
And don't forget, we got to build WarCry warbands.
Oh, God.
Ooh, maybe I'll do a WarCry.
Get out of here.
A fight. Like a diorama of a fight between 2 warbands.
I will be out of town that weekend.
Oh, you are kidding me.
No. I'm going to a concert in Denver. I don't want to mention the name of the band of the person.
Nickelback?
Oh. No.
No, he's dead.
Goes to John Denver. No.
Come on. Who are you going to go see?
I want to go up there and watch Sarah Bareilles.
The name is familiar, but I can't.
That's right. I watched Slipknot last weekend.
Yeah.
And I will be going to see Sarah Bareilles in October. That is the range of my music.
Okay.
So
I'm having to look up Sarah Bareilles.
Okay, you do that. But anyways.
Riverdance? What the hell?
Oh.
So we'll do our own separate little Armies on Parade.
What do you mean?
Huh?
Well, no, we're still going to do it. And we're going to square off against each other.
Okay.
The catch is going to be 40K.
Right.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that, listeners.
American singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
Oh, she's hot.
Yeah, she is.
I see why you're going.
If I was a multi-billionaire, I would dedicate all my money to paying her to sing me to sleep every night. That's all I would do. Yeah, fantastic. Anyways, I could gush on and on and on.
Okay.
Shall we announce our armies that we'll be doing?
Do we have to commit right now?
Yes, Bill, because if you don't commit, you're going to keep flopping around on... Because already your Raven Guard have become Blood Angels.
Yeah.
And your Blood Angels are dangerously close to becoming Salamanders. And I'll not have that because you already have an Astreus painted up in Blood Angels colors. And if you strip that to paint it green, well, there's really nothing I'm going to do about it, but because it's your model. But I will ridicule you mercilessly.
I'll do Blood Angels.
Okay. Yeah. Blood Angels.
Yeah, Primaris Blood Angels.
All Primaris Blood Angels.
I don't know if they'll be all Primaris.
All Primaris Blood Angels.
Okay, all Primaris Blood Angels. I guess I'm not going to do Sanguinary Guard.
No.
Or Death Company.
Absolutely no.
Okay.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. And I will be doing purely Primaris Black Templars.
Ooh.
Yep.
So it's the red on the black.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. All right, game on. 2 foot by 2 foot board. We can use my Sector Imperialis boards as our display boards. So, yeah. Nice, huh?
What have we begun, Bill? What have we begun?
The doom of mankind.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Good Lord. That is one jumbled mess of verbal diarrhea.
Yeah, we were all over the place.
That's how I like it. Like a big game of Naked Twister.
Scary.
Go to Mile High Massacre Grand Tournament.
Yes, go to Mile High Massacre.
September 7th and 8th, 2019, Adams County Fairgrounds, air quotes, The Dome, 9755 Henderson Road, Brighton, Colorado, 80601.
There you go.
2,000 points, Age of Sigmar. Army list must be submitted on or before August 24th to the following email address, rhill230@gmail.com.
All right.
If your list is not submitted on or before the deadline, a penalty of 20 points, DKP, will be applied to your final score.
20,000 DKP.
And let me tell you something, little something about Randall, so that you know he's not bluffing here. He's an a-hole. All right, we're done.
We're signing out. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Thank
Goodbye.
you. If you would like to get in touch with us, you can reach us on our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/rollingbadpodcast, all one word. Our Patreon page is at www.patreon.com/rollingbadpodcast, again, all one word. The Twitter account for the show is at rolling_bad, and our individual Twitter accounts are, for me, at Bill Castello, Castello, and for Ryan, he is at RT Gamer. All of our guests on the show will have their contact information in the show notes, and any products that we mention will also be similarly placed in the show notes. The music for the show is used courtesy of Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com and used under the Creative Commons license. It's so much easier to edit these days.
So if one of us is hotter than the other?
Yeah, it's just, I just fix it with the...
You are slow on the pickup today, Bill. Slow on the pickup today. Oh.
Yes, I am. But I've got the energy to do a show.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
We're going to come in hot and we're going to leave them wet.
Oh, so good. With our eyes glazed over from extreme chocolate brownies.
Yeah, red meat and brownies.
Oh, God.
We've done well today.
Yeah. The Zinch-looking ones with the big fan heads.
How about... Yeah.
And
neither one of us is looking it up or anything.
Oh, Jesus.
What are they called?
Oh, you didn't even put them on the...
No, because they came out last week.
Oh, my God. Trying to find something other than how Hillary Clinton can use mind bullets to assassinate people wherever she wants. That's pretty much my Twitter feed at the moment.
Wow. You need to get some good Republicans on there. Let me share something with you about 30 to 50 feral hogs.
Oh.
You know, what if I needed to kill? Because they were attacking my kids.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.